Okay guys, I have this device. It's pretty cool. It's got these two little leads that come down, and if water spills, you put this where, you know, it's a water detector basically. When these two wires make contact, it'll set off alarm, and I believe that it can actually text you or email you. I don't really need it for that, but I want to, I'm always overfilling my buckets, so I'm going to make some modifications to this so that I can put it on my coolant bucket when I'm filling water up, and hopefully be able to let me know when the bucket's getting full. Because we have an RO unit, and it only holds so many gallons, and if I forget about it and let it run out all the RO water, then I just wasted a bunch of time. Alright. Okay, I've got the cover off, and the circuit board just comes out. You can see there's two pads here that these two little wires, I guess, are connecting to, and it just bridges the circuit there. So first thing I'm going to try to do is pin these out so that I can just clip it over the edge of the bucket. This thing's not waterproof at all, so I just got to kind of be a little careful with it, but anyway, see what I can do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to try to do is just pull these out. Simple enough. Now basically I want to keep these down in here, but bend this out flat. Probably brought some pliers. Just trying to straighten this wire out a bit here. So I've got one straightened out. We're gonna see if this goes back together. So one of the big problems is it feels like it needs tension this way in order to keep this sprung up against the board. My plan was to just take this, wrap it around the edge of the bucket like this with this dangling down inside, but that may end up pushing this out of the way. Well, we're going to try it anyway. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing keeping this tensioned up against there now, so I'm going to have to think on this for a minute. Alright, I've come back to my original idea because I wanted it to just be a simple modification that anybody could do if they wanted to, but I don't see a good way to make those pins reliable, so I'm going to go ahead and just solder them on. Which was the original idea, but all I have around is this old scrap wire. Looks like it's from an old servo or something, but small enough to fit on here. I think it's old servo wire for RC servos for airplane or a car. So we'll just tin those up. Not sure when the video stopped here. Polarity doesn't matter on these pads. They just need to make contact with each other, so. Tin those pads. Not the best solder job, but it'll do for what I want it. So we're going to go ahead and strip the other end here. I might have to put these screws in. These screws basically make contact with the connectors for the battery, so. Power. Not sure exactly how these buttons work. The theory is if these touch, I should get an alarm. Alright. I'm actually going to tin these wires first so that they don't just go splaying out over time. Fraying. I've taken the probes that were here before and I kind of just shoved them back in the hole, and I'm going to super glue them down. I want to have basically, I don't know if these will work, I may end up having to change it, but something that holds it on the side of the bucket, and I'm hoping those will work. I may need to have longer wires here too. That's literally all the wire I could find right now. So I'm going to put a little super glue here, try to hold those things and use them as clamps for the side of the bucket. Baking soda works really good at curing super glue. I'm going to just dump a bunch of that here and not do that. I don't want to glue this case shut. So we're going to let that cure for the coolant bucket. Oh! Alright, it's been a couple minutes now. The super glue is all dry. The baking soda is created like a, it's almost like a plastic there, a bond to keep these, you know, more sturdy than they would have been. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set up and test in the bucket. Alright, so the other wires were way too short, so I'm going to go ahead and scavenge this wire from something else. It's quite a bit longer, you'll see. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and tin the other ends and then we'll go test it out. Alright, so I'll probably end up tidying this up. It looks pretty good if I actually mount these wires to these little clamps. That'll probably get me about perfect where I want to be. Right now I just have them strung over the edge to test to see if this is going to work. So here's the goal of this. I turn on my RO water, and since it's pretty slow to fill, I go out and do whatever I need to in the shop, and then I come back and it's been running for an hour because I've forgotten about it and it's drained my RO reserve. So I haven't tested this yet, so we'll find out here in a minute if this is going to do what it's supposed to. I don't know what the conductivity of RO water is, but I probably should have checked if it would work, but we'll find out here soon enough. It's not made contact yet. It's about to contact one. It should be contacting the other any second. That way, I won't be overfilling my buckets all the time. Wasted. We've got like a 15-gallon RO tank, I think. So I don't want to keep overflowing using what we have on that tank. I'll come back and have already used up, 5 gallons or 10 gallons when I was only filling a 5-gallon bucket. Anyway, looks like it works out. Thanks, guys. Alright, I don't have any heat shrink at this shop, but what I ended up doing is poking a hole in the back, running the wires out, running them down the little metal stainless prongs over here. I would have soldered it on up here, but it won't solder to the stainless rods. So I was going to heat shrink tube these on here, so you can see this just snaps onto the bucket. Let's try to focus. Alright, so it just snaps onto the bucket, and these wires run along the two wires that I'm using to snap, and when the water gets to that level, it sets off an alarm. It gives me enough time. It's about maybe 1.5 inches below the edge of the surface there. That should give me enough time to get in here no matter what I'm doing and catch it before it overflows. Alright guys, thanks.